put the boundary stones back.
We didn't move them.
Why did they move themselves then? Just rolled their way over so Bracken cows can fill their bellies on Blackwood grass?
The assize at River
Fuck
Road.
the assize. Fuck you. This is our land.
It's Bracken land. Babe killer.
What did you say?
Can you even get that thing up?
Title of my sex tape?
Discount Jeremy talks about his impotence.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, someone clearly graduated from the Moon Knight School of Fight Transitions.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture ref.
He is the basest of villains. He sullies the grave of his brother.
I cannot fault him for keeping his oath.
Being this polite about someone who was sent to assassinate you.
Did you not hear what she just said? Oh, who am I kidding? Of course he's not paying attention, let alone comprehending anything.
Otto Hightower would never have allowed this.
Even after a season and change of this show, every time I hear Hightower, I just think of Bubba Smith from the Police Academy movies.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture.
Soon they will not even remember what it was that began the war in the first place.
I can't even remember what began this conversation in the first place. I was too busy envisioning my House of the Dragon Police Academy movie, so skip.
Discount Jeremy has amnesia, Alzheimer's, and dementia all at once ex machina. Also, Discount Jeremy makes a pop.
You teeter now at the point where none of it will matter.
You're not quite at that point yet, but give me a few episodes of Damon hallucinating in a moldy castle and I'll start to think none of the show's previous events really mattered.
Somehow, a guy who watches TV shows for a living doesn't understand character development. Make it make sense.
While on whatever the is going on in the mind of Kristen Cole, or what I like to refer to as will be when Eamon changes his name to Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Can't come soon enough because currently he is so one note. I'd rather spend more time on Kristen's journey to...
Okay, now I see it. You do have a monkey problem.
A monkey problem.
Yeah, I heard him the first time. You can kiss my wife, you can take her to bed, but you cannot make her laugh.
Call it what you will. I call it war. The question is, what are we going to do about it?
Well, usually someone places a playing card.
Skip.
Doing the cool coin flip between the knuckles trick from Doc Holliday and hoping we wouldn't notice.
Discount Jeremy makes a...
I was told you turned back from your ship to bring warning.
Again, something she wouldn't have had to do at all if Sir Eric had simply done as he was told and escorted her himself instead of sticking her with some nameless guard.
But what's the sin? I'm not hearing anything that's actually wrong with the episode. A character within the episode made a mistake, but that doesn't automatically mean the episode itself made a mistake.
They will be ruled either by you or by the usurper. And only one of you has shown yourself to be merciful.
Well, that's not true at all. Aegon tried to be merciful to a shepherd who was struggling with his flock and to blacksmiths who needed coin in advance for the war efforts. It's not his fault Otto scuttled one of those merciful efforts.
And now you're taking her words as objective fact rather than what they actually are, which is one character's perspective. It blows my mind that Discount Jeremy has the same intellect as the average 5-year-old.
I can't quite see what's happening here, but I do hear rain and Daemon's dragon. Honestly, with how dark this shot is, I'm getting flashbacks to the battle for Winterfell. And you know how we feel about Season 8 of Game of Thrones in these here parts.
While I appreciate taking shots at Seasons 5 through 8 of Game of Thrones, this shot isn't even close to the level of unseeable bull in the Battle of Winterfell. Maybe you just need some new eyes.
Sneaking, slinking, skulking. Excitement?
No, it's called tension. Somebody who watches TV for a living should know this.
Are we about to see Batman? Finally, Warner Bros. Owning both HBO and DC pays off.
Discount Jeremy makes...
I'm claiming Harrenhal.
Did they only have the one guard? If so, I don't understand how no one else has claimed this place prior to Daemon's arrival.
The show never suggests that they only had one guard. In fact, the implication is that whatever forces remained at Harrenhal weren't willing or prepared to fight Daemon's dragon.
If you've not yet surmised, you are welcome here.
Well, at least you're not going to be here too long. It's not like your ass will be parked here for the next 5 episodes to wander through hallucinations, hauntings by witches, and sex with your mom.
Yet again, Discount Jeremy doesn't understand character development.
The answer to that is lost in time.
Ah, yes, the Maz Kanata method of storytelling, whereby you promise to reveal lore at a later time and then forget to.
Discount Jeremy.
What a giddying ascent the gods have bestowed on you.
What some might call giddying, others like myself would instead call infuriating. There's a quiver of arrows waiting to make this man a human pincushion, and we await with bated breath for that day to arrive.
Yes, but that's not a mistake of the episode. In fact, that's a sign that the show has done a very good job with its characterization of Kristen Cole because it successfully made the audience hate him.
And request that she grant her favor, that her Lord Commander may go into battle with her blessings in his heart.
Not being satisfied with sharing the Queen Dowager's bed and receiving her prayers of safe travels. You needed her boob tissue as well.
Yes.
They've penetrated our castle walls, and now the Riverlands are aflame after the Battle of the Burning Mill.
A battle I'm definitely glad we skipped over in 20 seconds. Yep, definitely didn't want to see a battle 3 episodes into the season.
I got a pizza delivery for a Tonka Jahari.
I'm Tonka Jahari, but I would never order a whole pizza for myself. I mean, I'll take it, but...
Here.
I mean, you guys have to believe me, I would never order a whole pizza just for myself, though. It's, like, totally not mine, but I am Tonka Jahari.
This council would do well to remember that their queen wears the crown of my grandsire, Jaehaerys the Conciliator.
But just because Jaehaerys was a great ruler doesn't mean that Rhaenyra automatically is. Those two factors are not necessarily mutually exclusive.
Yes, we know that, but you're once again treating a character's perspective as objective fact when that's not what it's meant to be. Jesus Christ, do you ever learn, or do you just remain in your cringeworthy ignorance no matter what?
Should all come to ruin here, you will bear our hope for the future.
Placing all that pressure on a teen girl who's already been sentenced to raise her 2 baby sons.
Which isn't a mistake of the episode, it's a mistake of the characters and society within the episode.
No one will be seated as Rhaenyra kisses the tops of all her children's heads.
So who was right? I mean, about all of this?
Every religion guessed about 5%, except for Doug Forsett.
Who's Doug Forsett?
Well, Doug was a stoner kid who lived in Calgary during the 1970s. One night he got really high on mushrooms, and his best friend Randy said, "Hey, what do you think happens after we die?" And Doug just launched into this long monologue where he got like 92% correct. I mean, we couldn't believe what we were hearing. That's him, actually, right up there.
The rumors that the king readies himself to fly to war.
This episode is 67% people fighting about whether or not the king should go to battle or remain where he is. I don't think the entire run of Next Generation had as much commotion about why the captain should remain on the ship than this one episode does.
Cool, and why is that a sin? You haven't provided any justification for this being a sin whatsoever. Also, discount.
Turns out it was her sister. No one's ever told me.
Audience doesn't see character deliver the beginning of the joke, giving the audience only the punchline as everyone laughs. Cliché.
That's not a cliche.
The blood of the dragon runs through these veins, and yes, men would take my head for it.
Bragging about how many people want to kill you.
And that's a sin because... Oh, you don't have a reason? Okay.
Well, I'm sure that won't come back to burn Aegon in the future.
Ha ha ha, so funny because it does happen and he said it won't happen. Much funny, so comedy.
Teasing me with the first dragon action in 3 episodes only to have it end in disappointment 45 seconds later.
Well, here's one dwarf she won't ensnare so easily. I have the eyes of a hawk and the ears of a fox.
Move under the trees and by cover of dark starting tonight.
Far be it for me to question things like the geography of Westeros, but are there thick lines of trees from King's Landing that stretch all the way to Harrenhal?
This dumb question has literally already been answered by this episode. You see the stretch of land that doesn't have trees? Yeah, the answer is no. There aren't trees the entire way from King's Landing to Harrenhal.
Time for action is surely now.
Thing I said every time Daemon was on screen throughout the season somehow makes its way into the episode.
Motorcycles are death machines. I have 3 kids. I'm not risking it. Are you saying my life matters less because I don't conform to society's heteronormative, child-centric ideals?
Are you really playing the gay card right now?
Yes, Queen.
I have heard your arguments and will consider them.
This whole episode is about considering arguments and needs to be more about dragons. I want more dragon action. Is that too much to ask?
I'm saying you're a football player. It's in your blood.
That's racist.
Your soul.
That's racist.
Your eyes.
That's gay.
That's homophobic.
That's black.
That's racist.
Damn.
Always coming and going on here.
Well, going I'll grant you, but we've seen evidence Daemon occasionally has trouble with the other part of that sentence.
Discount Jeremy discusses coming.
I would speak with her myself.
Killing her would be easier.
Staying to work for Rhaenyra because she's merciful, only to chide her for showing mercy to Alicent.
This is an example of a character being flawed, not the episode being flawed. Did I say he has the intellect of a 5-year-old? Yeah, I probably should have said a brick.
Yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart. I saw that. Brick killed a guy. Did you throw a trident? Yeah, there were horses and a man on fire, and I killed a guy with a trident.
War can be averted. It is my duty to avert it.
What exactly is Rhaenyra's plan here? To tell Alicent, hey, sorry we decapitated your grandson. Eye for an eye and whatnot. We cool now?
No, it's to do exactly what she ends up doing later in this very episode. What the hell is this sin?
No, Rhaenyra was just told.
Most folk pay no mind to a woman who has not dressed as a queen or lured herself with the eyes of men.
But she could have at least attempted to cover up her face a little more just in case.
She could have, but it clearly wasn't necessary seeing as she doesn't get caught. What was your point?
We know this is Rhaenyra, but Alicent doesn't yet. She probably thinks this is just a Westerosi nun, which leaves me wondering if this is like the praying woman's equivalent of one man peeing at a urinal and a second guy choosing the urinal right next to his, when there's an entire line of them to pick from.
Pointless throwaway sin is pointless and thrown away like intelligence at TVSins headquarters.
See, blood and glory. But you, I know you do not have that desire within you.
She seemed pretty eager to seek blood when she wanted your son's eye gashed out and ran at him with a knife. Did you forget that part, Rhaenyra?
Discount Jeremy doesn't understand emotions ex machina.
I'm a mother too, and you have yet to answer for the murder of my son. I repudiate that act with all my heart. Of course you do.
Me. Emma Darcy and Olivia Cook are so good together. They play off of each other like lifelong rivals for power who still struggle with the fact that they were childhood friends. And I would absolutely remove a sin if the show didn't consistently keep these women apart.
Discount Jeremy sins something he likes cliche.
You know what Aemon is?
You mean we know what Aemon was allowed to become without any love or support in his life from either parent?
Right, but yet again you're sinning a character for being flawed instead of sinning the episode for being flawed. It's almost to the point that I need to make a new cliche for this bullshit.